All right, good morning. What's going on? It's Kyle Henderson of BAMA Football on YouTube. It's finally game day outside of Bryant-Denny Stadium. Here is what we are tracking during Alabama's first game of the season. Be sure and hit the thumbs up, like, subscribe. We appreciate you guys being with us all fall camp. Now we are into week one of the college football season. As you saw yesterday, Jalen Milroe will start at quarterback for the Alabama Crimson Tide. Really no surprise, Jalen Milroe played in 2 games last season against Arkansas and Texas A&M. We have talked plenty about the quarterback play this fall camp, and what we want to see from Jalen Milroe is consistency. We want to see how he commands this offensive attack for Alabama. You have plenty of running backs. You have some emerging wide receivers, Malik Benson, maybe one of those sophomore risers, Isaiah Bond, Kendrick Law, maybe an Emmanuel Henderson. But I want to see how Jalen Milroe uses the tight ends specifically under Tommy Rees, who comes from Notre Dame. We talked about that. The fact is, Tommy Rees was able to utilize the tight ends very well at Notre Dame, and I'm curious to see if that does spill over to Alabama, considering you have Danny Lewis, Amari Niblack, transferring from Maryland, C.J. Dupree. Everybody has been also talking about Alabama's massive offensive line, which averages 6'5", 340 pounds or something like that. It's a monster offensive line anchored by 2 towers at the tackle position. Caden Proctor, who's just a freshman. All eyes will be on him at the left tackle position, and next to him at the guard position will be Tyler Booker, who I feel is one of the best offensive linemen in all of college football. Write that down. Seth McLaughlin returns at center for Alabama. Big things expected from him. And then you also have either TJ Ferguson, aka Ferg, or Darian Dalcourt at guard next to J.C. Latham, who's probably another first-round pick in the 2024 NFL Draft. So much talent on the offensive side of the ball. And how about this? There's been reports recently that Tyler Buchner is now the number 2 quarterback at Alabama. So we know that the number 1 quarterback is going to be Jalen Milroe, but who is going to be number 2 and number 3? We're going to see multiple quarterbacks play, I would imagine, today against Middle Tennessee. I want to hear from you inside the comment box. Remember, the post-game show is following the game immediately with Coach Sean and Coach Smook. Switching over to the defensive side of the ball, what do you want to see from this defense? Well, for me, I think the plugs at the DT position is something that I'm going to be watching. Jaheim Otis, Tim Keenan. How do those guys get pressure? How do they stop the run? Now, of course, Middle Tennessee has an air raid attack, and that means that the defensive backs are going to be challenged today. Kool-Aid, JaQuincy McKinstry, another first-round draft pick, is their corner. You also have Terrion Arnold, transfer in Trey Amos at that corner spot. Welcome in Jalen Key from UAB. He's at the safety spot. And then you also have true freshman Caleb Downs. So a lot of the spotlight is going to be on Caden Proctor at tackle and Caleb Downs at safety. How do those 2 freshmen fare in game action today at Bryant-Denny Stadium? Today it's a little bit overcast, but for game time it should be good. Weather has been really hot all fall camp, but I think today the players will enjoy coming out to Bryant-Denny Stadium. A few other notations that we're talking about going into this game. Don't forget about the special teams play for Alabama. The special teams play is very good, probably one of the tops in the country. You have Will Riker, who actually is the all-time leading scorer at the University of Alabama. And then you also have James Burnup, who's a punter in from Australia. And if Middle Tennessee kicks to Kool-Aid, which I doubt they're going to do. Kool-Aid is one of the most dangerous return men in all of college football, averaged 15, 16 yards per punt return last year, so very dangerous coming into the 2023 season from the special team standpoint, which is such a pivotal part of Alabama's game. What we also want to see from this team collectively is the limit of mental mistakes. Last year, Alabama was plagued with turnovers, and that affected them in some very big games. Now, Alabama is a 40-point favorite today against Middle Tennessee, but as you know, week 2, a matchup looms with Texas. Last year against Texas, Alabama had a ton of penalties. And the games which Alabama lost against Tennessee, against LSU, those were games where Alabama had a lot of penalties on each side of the football. So Nick Saban emphasized that they want to continue to work on that mental mindset of toughness and that psychological disposition that you need to have in big-time games. It starts today, week 1 against Middle Tennessee. I want to hear from you inside the comment box. I know it's early, it's game day. What are you excited to see from Alabama in this week 1 matchup? Again, my name is Kyle Henderson of BAMA Football, coming to you outside of Bryant-Denny Stadium. Hit the thumbs up, like, subscribe, fam. Remember, tonight, after the game, after Nick Saban's press conference, really immediately following the game, go to BAMA Football on YouTube, as you got the post-game show with Coach Sean, Coach Smook, I will be taking your calls on the back end of that as we break down Alabama's Week 1 contest against Middle Tennessee. Coming to you from beautiful Bryant-Denny Stadium, Kyle Henderson of BAMA Football on YouTube.